Hi, I'm Lisa Woodbrook from AusIMM. Today we are sitting down with Matthew Cobbett, Ausenco's newly appointed Vice President Operations West Australia and Africa. As a leader with a successful career in resources, we want to hear a little bit more about Matthew's own journey and his thoughts on creating high-performance teams of resources professionals to deliver safe and sustainable outcomes. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us. Would you mind sharing a little bit more about your own personal background?
Sure, Lisa. Thank you very much. I'm a metallurgist by degree. I studied in the UK at Newcastle University. And I started in the steel industry, in stainless steel, making stainless steel in the UK, in South Wales. I then moved to South Africa after about 2 or 3 years into the coal industry, working in the Eastern Transvaal, as it was called then, again making product and producing coal. And I joined the engineering and construction company engineering and construction industry in 1995 in Johannesburg. And I stayed there for a couple of years and then started to move around the world with that company. And I've been in the industry about 28 years. I've lived in the US, in Denver, then in Melbourne, in Australia, then to Vancouver in Canada, and then finally in Perth for the last 21 years. And spent a considerable amount of time in South America, particularly Chile, where I was looking after business development down there for the company. I've worked in study and project management, knowledge management, and also in sales and marketing and general management. And as you say, I've just recently joined Ausenco about 2.5 months ago and looking after operations in Western Australia and Africa.
As an executive leader with a background in metallurgy, can you share some insights on how you approach motivating and leading teams of people from different technical disciplines?
Whilst I am a metallurgist by degree, I've actually not spent a lot of time in my discipline throughout my career. So I've been dealing with things non-metallurgical most of that time. When you're delivering projects, different disciplines are complementary by nature. So you have to work with all sorts of different people throughout delivery, whether it be a project or whether it be management or whether it be a region. What I've found is that if you make sure that you communicate clear goals and expectations, that is the key to getting people to work effectively together. It's also important to remember that the teams that you're working with, you have to gather the best out of all of that team, regardless of where they come from. And it's important that your team is made up from all sorts of different backgrounds and diversities, genders, cultures, and really reach out to them to get the best you can out of them. And make sure that you listen and draw out from them their experiences and their perceptions, because some people are quite shy when it comes to working in groups. And the key of a good manager is being able to draw people out of themselves. So it's important that you listen and you look for the best and you challenge as you deliver any kind of project or any kind of team.
How do you help foster innovative, collaborative, and solutions-focused thinking?
You really have to work with people and you have to provide clear and concise goals and targets. And drawing people together so that they feel comfortable to work together is really important. And that is a style that you need to adapt to. And you need to be able to work with others to be able to draw out the best from them. I've spent a lot of time over my career mentoring people. I've spent the last 17 years as a mentor at UWA, at the UWA Career Mentoring Program. And I found that as a really important part of what I do. And you can extend that mentoring type of approach to any team that you work with. I also find it very fulfilling, working with students, and particularly young students who are coming new into the industry. I find I learn probably more from them than they do from me, quite frankly. It's also important that I can help pass on my learnings for what I've done over 35 years in the industry to those that are coming into the industry. And it extends into those types of cross-discipline teams who are looking for the safest and best technical solution and development of projects. If you can use those kind of styles and help them learn as they move forward, we can all learn together in those teams.
So at the beginning of your resources career, were you inspired by a particular mentor or role model who helped you find your path in resources?
Yes, absolutely. I have had a number of mentors, both formal and informal, throughout my career, and all of them have had a profound effect on me, both professionally and personally, and also on my career. It's important to seek out mentors, as I say, either formal or informal. So formal are those which are appointed to you, and the informal are the ones which you see from afar or in the distance as somebody that you aspire to work with or to learn from, and then go and associate with them. And they may never even know that they're a mentor to you, but it is so important and powerful to you that you work with those people. And I distinctly remember early on in my career, the individual that I was working with, and he gave me some advice, and he said that go and look and see whose light is shining and go and stand in it. And that to me is the most profound thing anyone's ever said, because the person whose light was shining, which happened to be that individual, actually took me up through my career, and I learned so much from him. I worked with him for 15 or 20 years. So it is incredibly important to have those mentors either appointed or that you find for yourself. And I hope in my career that I've been able to provide a little bit of that light to others and to those students that I've been mentoring as I've gone through that time with UWA and with my companies that I've been working with.
Now, Matthew, if you had one piece of advice for someone looking to build their career in the resources sector, what would it be?
The most important thing to remember when you start a new career is about networking.
Okay.
It really is a fundamental part of developing yourself and developing your career. If you can network with as many people as possible and get to know and draw from them, that will stand you in fantastic stead as your career goes forward. And as you develop as a manager or as a technical professional, you'll find that more and more people want to network with you. So to me, networking is one of the most crucial things that you can do. But also working with other teams. Make sure that the teams that are around you are diverse.
Yeah.
They're from all sorts of different backgrounds, and forget prejudices, forget the age-old prejudice, and look for the best in people. Because generally when you look for the best in people, you will find it. And by that way, everyone benefits and everyone moves forward and everyone moves upwards.
So how would you go about networking? I guess even in the informal mentors that you mentioned, how would someone who's just starting their career feel the confidence to go up to those informal mentors? Like, what advice would you have for?
That's a real challenge.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm an introvert and always have been, and I've always found that quite difficult. Preparation is a big part of it. Sometimes you can't prepare. Sometimes you meet people on the spur of the instant and you'll probably click and you'll find it easy to talk with them. But if you don't have that opportunity, or if you have the opportunity, you know you're going to meet some people, do a bit of background research. Find out the people, find out what their background is. See if there's any synergies between your history and theirs. And you'll find that the conversation will flow. And then if it's a work colleague that you're using as an informal mentor, try and make sure that they know that you're interested. You want to move on, you want to learn more. And the more that you the more that you can show that enthusiasm, the more they're likely to take notice and pull you along with them. So it isn't easy, but it is important. It's not just making a contact on social media and that you think you've got a network. It's much more than that.
Yeah.
It does involve effort, it does involve time, and you have to invest it.
Well, thank you so much, Matthew, for sitting down with us today and sharing your insights on high-performance teams in the resources sector and advice for those looking to kickstart their career in the industry. For more information and the latest content from AusIMM, visit our website at www.ausimm.com.